All right, good morning, everybody. It's a little before noon on Sunday, June the 19th, 2011. And today I thought I'd talk a bit about embouchure and the kinds of embouchure issues that I deal with as a player and as a teacher. And I'll preface all my remarks by saying that probably the best book I found on embouchure is the one by Philip Farkas. It's called The Art of Brass Playing. And I highly recommend it to you. It's probably the first 25-30 pages are the ones that have been most helpful to me and to my students. And so I thought I'd talk about some of the things that I see as a player and teacher that are issues with embouchures that may cause a player to not play at their best. And as soon as I bring up something that I think may be an issue with a player, saying that maybe they shouldn't play that way, and then of course someone will walk into my studio and they'll play that way and sound great. And it reminds me of a line Manny Klein had when people would come to him and say, you know, what about Dizzy Gillespie when he puffs his cheeks out? You know, isn't that bad for you? And then Manny Klein would have a great response. He would say, we should all play so bad. So I think that's something good to remember, that there is not necessarily just one way to play the trumpet. Although that reminds me of my first lesson with Claude Gordon, when he would say, indeed, there's only one way to play the trumpet, and that's the way I'm going to teach you. That's what to practice, when to practice, and how to practice. And at the time I went to see Claude, I was pretty confused, and it turned out to be really helpful to sort of have all this other discussion put by the wayside and just sort of listen to Claude and practice what he gave me. And I did it for a couple of years, and it proved it was very helpful. But I was old enough to know and had studied with enough great players to know that in all likelihood there was one more way to play the trumpet than met the eye, and some people puff their cheeks out and some people don't, and some people do this and some people do the other thing. So I've found it a lot easier to go with the flow, so to speak. If it works, great, and if it doesn't work, see what you can do to fix it. And some of the things that I've noticed in my own playing that I've had to work on over the years are the same issues I see in a lot of my students and other. So we'll talk about some of them today rather quickly, and then in later trumpet talks we'll go into more detail. But some of the issues that I see with trumpet players that keep them from playing their best are, first of all, in the Farkas book, he talks about having this kind of a shape. The muscular development of a good embouchure is to have this shape here. And indeed, that seems to be quite a universal shape for trumpet players. They can puff their cheeks out, but they'll still have that shape. So that's one of the things I look for. Another thing is to try to make sure that as you play higher, that the lower lip doesn't roll in. And that happens to me and to a lot of other players, that as you buzz, this lower lip will roll in and cut off the air, so that's not very helpful. Another thing I've seen a lot of players is they play on the red of the upper lip, and that seems to me problematic in a lot of players. And again, as soon as I say that, I know there's going to be somebody out there who's playing on the red of the lip and plays great. So just to note that once again, that these are only observations but not gospel. So playing on the red of the lip seems to be problematic. It has been for me, and I've had to figure out ways to work around that so that I don't do that as much, especially as I go into the upper register, because I think it helps to have more lip in the upper register if you go higher and not play on the tissue but on the muscle. So those are three things that I look for when a player comes to play for me, or in my own playing, to see if there are some issues there and if I might be helpful. And in later trumpet talks, we'll get into more depth on each one of those, and hopefully have some observations and some suggestions on what to do should that be an issue in your playing. Okay, I hope you found this helpful, and that you are having a great day. And I look forward to seeing you again before too long. Bye-bye.